Coming up next, keeping your online profile safe and out of the hands of thieves. If you think you know how to stay safe online or even build a solid business through Twitter and Facebook, wait until you hear what our next guest has to say, coming up right after the break.
All right, welcome back, everybody. You know, online social media networking, that is quite the title. Online social media networking has been a very powerful tool out there, especially recently in the past few years here. Getting jobs, updating friends, keeping in contact with family, things like that. Robert Cerrone joins us here. You are the owner of GXC Design here. We'll show that, we'll pull that up in just a second. To talk to us primarily about Facebooking and social media, because it does get out to everybody, and there are certain things out there that can actually hurt you when it comes to searching for a job, when it comes to having a job, and you're going to address some of those issues so that you can kind of separate a personal life and a professional life.
Exactly.
What are some of the things that people tend to forget when they start building a Facebook page or some kind of social page?
Well, basically, the big thing that people forget to do, and let's click over here and take a peek at what we've got going on here. One of the things that some people forget to do is they forget to basically know who's going to be looking at your page. Are you going to have work associates on there? Are you going to have just your family on there? Are you going to have friends on there? I mean, there's such a variety of people now all using Facebook. I think the statistic is 2 out of 3 people on planet Earth now are on a social networking website, namely Facebook. So basically, you know, it's how do you break up that information so that certain people can see it and certain people can't.
For example?
What we're talking about here is if we take a look here, you know, one of the things that people forget to do, or don't maybe not even know that they could do, is that they can edit their friends list. For instance, you can develop a list that is just your friends, and then you can put those certain people in it. You can develop a list of people who are just your coworkers and just put those people in it. And then what you can do is, anytime you're going to disseminate information, whether it's photos, whether it's something else, you can actually say, okay, I want this group to see these pictures. I want this group to see this status.
Right, because a lot of people don't realize when they set up a Facebook account, friends of friends can actually access and look what you're putting onto your Facebook. And some of those friends you may not be friends with, or you don't want them to see what's going on.
Right. Especially, and that's especially important with photos. When you tag photos and you put people's friends in it, now that friend that's tagged or if someone else is in there, they can see those photos too. So if we talk about an employer, you know, you're out, you're having a raging party, then the night before someone had a digital camera, snapped a few pictures, threw them on their Facebook page, tagged you. Your boss is your friend. They see your picture of you doing whatever it is you're doing, an uncouth, you know, thing.
So how do you do this? You're saying we can actually separate what your...
Right here you can see, if you go up onto the screen, you can see you can create a new list. For instance, you can start with that and start typing a name and create a list out of those specific people. Does it take some time? Yeah. It takes a little time, especially when you've got a few hundred friends to do it. But in the end result is going to be well worth it to keep that information, you know, where you want it to be.
Oh, so you don't get in trouble at work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing that some people, you know, the privacy settings, for instance. They just changed privacy settings again. So if you haven't checked your Facebook stuff, you might want to check that, because they haven't, you know, now they have this everyone, friends of friends, friends only, and they you know, their recommended thing, if you look at it, is this stuff, you know, your status, your family and relationships goes to everyone. So you're going to default to these settings, so you might want to take a look by going into your account settings.
Real quick, we have to wrap this up. What about personal information? We're looking at Ruth's here, and she had her cell phone, she had her email.
Right.
Anybody can get into that and look at that.
Right, and let me just say that basically, you know, when we're talking about, you know, your personal information, again, with those privacy settings, you can lock that stuff down. Another thing you can lock down too that's become important is you can actually turn off the Google settings, so that if, you know how when you can Google somebody's name, you can see their face, you know, their Facebook page comes right up as like #1. You can actually turn that off so no one can find you in Google. Again, when we're talking about employers, you know, you got a potential employer. A lot of them are looking for, you know, for people on Facebook and trying to see their background, and you know, you want to alleviate that. I mean, your Facebook page, you know, there is a way to maintain that privacy. It just takes time and understanding how Facebook puts those settings together.
Absolutely, Robert Cerrone, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yes, a little extra time, but well worth it there, just to separate your personal life from your professional life and stay out of trouble.